Hi guys, welcome to VCU Math 200. I just wanted to do a short little video on how to use Schoology and where things are going to be located in Schoology for you guys. So what I've done in the Schoology class, of course you would log in and then from your courses that you have, you would select the Math 200 Calculus course that's there. Now, there are two things that I've done to help you with navigation throughout the course, so it makes it a little easier to find things. So the first thing is, up here is what I'm calling the virtual classroom. Now, this will live at the top of the page. I have it pinned to the top of the materials page and the updates page. If you want to enlarge it, you would just click the little square thing that's right here, and it would enlarge it for us. So let's take a look at some of the parts of this that are kind of going to be important for what we're going to do. So down here, or in this little whiteboard right here, if there is going to be any special announcements or anything, I'm going to adjust and add them here to this portion. Now, things that are down here are going to be clickable links that will take you to different places. So for example, this OneNote notebook right here, this should be the link to the notebook that you were sent an email earlier in the summer to invite you to set up on your computer. So if you have not done that, one of your homework assignments is to get yourself access to our OneNote notebook. I believe this will take you there, but I also think that if you look in your email, search for shared by Krista Hamilton, and that will take you to the OneNote notebook that I invited you to. Over here is going to be a link to our Zooms that we are going to be doing for the synchronous classes. So if you click on that, that will take you to this. There's nothing in there right yet, but we will have a link for the second block Zoom and the 8th block Zoom. So those will probably be recurring things that will stay there, but at least there will be a place where you can basically make sure you know where your Zoom classes are and those kinds of things. All right, coming back into here, I just linked Desmos because that's handy to have as a calculator to use. However, you do need to have your own physical calculator that you are going to use for things like tests and quizzes and so on. So make sure you have, I recommend a TI-84, TI-84 Plus, TI-84 CE, something along the family of that. You can use other graphing calculators if you have them, like let me know what kind you have, and I can let you know if that's appropriate. You're just not allowed to have anything that has a computer solving system on it. We will have several tests and assessments that are no calculator at all, but for the calculator ones, we want to make sure that we don't have that it doesn't just solve the equations for you. And especially in this online learning situation, we'll talk about what's appropriate to use for tests and assessments and what is not. The other link right here, this will take you to a folder that lives in Schoology, and that folder is going to have all sorts of how-to videos of how to do things, and that's where I'm going to insert this video when we finish it. When you see that it pops up into a different screen, you can just come back over to this side. Now, it does pop you out of the maximum viewing window when you do that, but you can easily click back into it. The other thing that's here, this is a long-range planner. This is where if you want to look out and see when our next test is, what we're covering, like loosely on each day. So this is kind of a long-range planner. If I click on that link, it takes you to a SharePoint file. And in that SharePoint file, you'll be able to kind of view a long-term what's happening in class. Like you can see here that I have the first 3 weeks or so kind of roughly planned out for myself, and then kind of stopped after the first 3 weeks. So we'll see kind of where things are. I kind of have an intent to have a test on September 30th. What that test will cover will be whatever we cover kind of through the first 3 weeks. And so you'll get more information about that. But that way you can kind of look ahead on that. Now I'm still editing this, and you'll notice that it says AB Calculus AB down here because I made it in AB and now I'm editing it for you guys. So just know that I only really have the first few weeks done for you, and we're going to be changing the topics because we'll be covering, say, for example, Unit 1 for probably twice the time that I'm covering it in AB Calc. So while they're having a test on all of Unit 1 on the 30th, you guys will probably have a test on half of Unit 1 on the 30th. So that's kind of give you an idea. We're doing a little bit slower pacing and a little bit more review mixed in for you guys into your lessons. All right, now that's the long range. I also wanted to make it easy for you to figure out exactly what we are doing today. So what I did is I went ahead and I made this as a weekly planner, which is going to be linked to things that are directly what you're doing that day. So we have class on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then the asynchronous on Fridays. And so each week, so this will change week to week. I would just, you come here on Tuesday and you're like, what am I supposed to do on Tuesday? So you click there, and what that will do, let me enlarge it, is it will take you to the Tuesday, what are we doing that day? So here are the things that we're doing in class as a synchronous activity, and then still in class, but sort of asynchronous. Like my intent for the first day is to do a little bit of a welcome. We'll do some intro to each other, to different things. Our activity that day is going to be this wonderful intro to calculus. You will complete that in a Zoom breakout room. When you are finished with your group portion of answering these questions, because each group will move at different rates, you would then move into the asynchronous activities, which are going to be the summary of it, and then a check your understanding for that same activity. You can complete that still together in the Zoom breakout with the help of your teammates as you're working. When you're in Zoom breakout, you can request help and invite the host, which would be me, to come in and answer questions. So it's asynchronous in that once you get the group activity done, you can kind of work through these items and do them. Housekeeping, there's a student orientation module. That's the how-to place. Go there to see how to do things. Make sure you download your OneNote app and get that set up. And then your homework is you're going to watch a video, The Essence of Calculus. Now, also to make it easy for you to find these things, there's a couple other things on this slide that are important. One is going to be click to submit attendance. So on this, I'm going to go ahead and click it. It brings you up to a Google form. You will start filling this out at the beginning of class. So you just put your name, what period you're in, and I do need to edit this for you guys, which I will do, to be 2nd or 8th period for me. And then when you say, do you feel prepared for the lesson? Just give me some short, don't write a novel. Just give me a short, yep, felt pretty confident coming into this. No, I'm worried about blah, blah, blah. Just let me know. Just kind of gauging your, how you're feeling about the class coming in. Questions you have from the previous classwork or homework. Obviously, day 1, that's going to be an NA. But you can just kind of NA, you have to write something. So just put not appropriate on the first day, but then the second day you'll have something to write. List one important thing that you learned in class that day, so that and make sure you were in class. And then give me some feedback. If there was something that will help you out, let me know what you could use for some extra help. All right, and then you would submit that. All right, now going back over to here, and let me enlarge this again. The other thing that's important here, let me move myself out of the way. Here is the folder, like all of these activities that you are doing for that day live in a Schoology folder. So instead of having to find it each time, each slide I have linked so that you can basically just click it and it will open up to the folder that has each of the items that you are going to do. So notice here's the attendance again, in case you didn't click on it from that slide. Here is your classwork group discussion that you're going to complete and do for me. Here is the video that goes with the teacher summary that comes after that. Here is your homework that you are going to do. Now, right now, I have that homework being turned in OneNote. I have another video that shows how to submit assignments. I'm going to hold off and not explain that here. Some things will be submitted to Schoology. Some things will be submitted to the OneNote notebook, and I'll explain that in the next video. And then here's the video that you're watching for homework. Make sure that you come here and you watch it because it is through Edpuzzle, and there will be questions and notes and comments throughout the video for you to be taking notes and to be answering questions from. And so that's that entire day that's there. And then when you come back into this, you can, of course, go back to the home page. It takes you back to here. Now, the nice thing about this also, you know, when you click and here's Thursday, this is just a PowerPoint. So I'm not going to delete the slides that go with the prior days. So you can scroll back and see what was happening on the 8th. You can scroll forward to see the 10th. Here's the 11th, which was a Friday, which for week 1 is not an actual day for you guys because it's a short week. I believe we're doing Tuesday, Thursday even, Wednesday, Friday odd, so that Friday is not an asynchronous learning day. And then you can start to scroll forward. Don't trust them scrolling forward. They're just a rough estimate until I teach that week, and then we kind of come in. Just as an FYI, to me, this little check mark down here is I am final and I've edited it and it's ready to go. If it doesn't have that check mark, then it's a rough draft and might change. So just be prepared for that. All right, so that is your introduction into using Schoology. If the other thing is, and you don't always have to use this, obviously you can come down here and the folders will be down here as well. So you can simply just click into, we were in, starting unit 0. So unit 0, and then you see the folder for Tuesday and Thursday. And I don't have folders up yet for the second part. We're going to start unit 1 on Tuesday, whatever the second Tuesday of school is during second week, week 2. Week 2 pops into unit 1, which is limits and continuity. I just don't have that into your folders just yet. All right, so that should be a quick overview of what you are doing when you come to VCU Calc. Make sure you check here for your announcements. Make sure you have your links down here that you can get the things. And then down here, your Zoom, of course, is going to be important to do your synchronous classes. And then your weekly schedules are going to live here. And I will re-link these each Sunday night to the next class. So like first week, it's always going to be set to Tuesday the 8th. And then on Sunday night of that week, I will reset this to go to Tuesday the 15th or whatever it is that day is for you guys. So I'll reset these on Sunday night to be the next week's assignment. And hopefully that helps you out. Just another thing that's down here, anything that's upcoming should be listed down here so you can kind of see your items that you want to make sure that you get done, both synchronous and asynchronous. So that's the overview of how to use Schoology. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will head to the next video, which tells you how to submit things.